And we're back on the air. We Sell Restaurants operate the largest restaurant brokerage company in the nation based on number of listings, transaction count, and volume. We are franchising nationwide and have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia.
This is Robin Gagnon, and I'm joined by Eric Gagnon, and it's that time when we talk about the reality of the restaurant business. We have just spent this hour discussing technology with some really fascinating individuals in the industry who are telling us where things are now and where they're going. But the reality is, Eric, we may have a lot of owners out there who are saying, I don't have email on my phone yet. Do you think that's the case?
Yes, I think it is the case, but do not panic. There's still hope. You can still catch up. A lot of the things are very easy now to put together. You can start as little as you want, as big as you want, but the important thing is to use technology. Start integrating that into your business, your day-to-day. One big thing that I found out today from our guests, and which were great content, by the way. If you have a chance to listen to this show again, please do, because there's so much information from our guests. But technology is also for front of the house, back of the house, so you can use the technology to your advantage inside your business. Just don't try to go out and scream on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and just like, I'm here. That's important, but it can also facilitate your life from a perspective. Some of the things that our guest talked about, Robin, talk about the future of it, where they could be actually totally out of the restaurant, still know what's going on by the second.
Well, that's what I find. I see all of this technology as really taking the burden off the restaurant operator. He can see exactly who showed up for work, who didn't show up for work. He can text somebody to take over a shift that didn't come in that day. He can make sure that if he's overbought on grouper and underbought on flounder, he can change the menu, change the recipes, and get everybody reacting in real time. So years and years ago, I can remember there was an MBA case study on Walmart, because they invented that just-in-time inventory process. And this allows restaurateurs to get somewhere they never thought they would be, which is just-in-time operations of the business. So no wasted food costs, no wasted labor hours. It just overcomes a multitude of problems.
Yeah, and you do the math. You invest $5,000 into some technology to help you with managing your inventory, like you just mentioned, and you can save 3% of your food costs. Somebody spends, $400,000 a year. 3-4% of that's more than double their repayment. I mean, this is where you have to think about. You have to look at technology. Some of our guests one of our guests today talk about younger owners. They get it because they've been raised with technology. And I know some of the more seasoned operators have not been raised with technology, and they're slow adopters. But it is so simple nowadays. I mean, with the cloud-based, we are cloud today a lot. Cloud-based technology is so easy to use, and there's so much support out there now. And it's not like you're calling somebody halfway around the world. These are local people. A lot of these people have offices in the United States. They are available for you. They want you to be successful, because one thing about technology and the way they're doing it, you have to have a lot of users for their applications and their companies to stay in business. So they have to make sure you are happy. If you're not, you're going to tell the world, just like the patrons of your restaurant do. If they're not happy, they're going to tell the world.
Well, and I think the other side of this is really important too. You cannot underestimate the value of these platforms that give you instant access to what your restaurant visitors are saying to you and about you. And if you can take that off the social media site and begin interacting and solve the problem immediately, it's just like having a client in your restaurant who's irritated. If they sit there steaming and grousing and making comments, it's a toxic environment. It just spreads and spreads. The reverse is true. The quicker you get to that table, solve that issue, get that customer happy again, and flip that interaction into a positive one, then you create a fan. And that has a multiplier effect. So you absolutely, in fact, what I would say, the reality of the technology, you cannot say you can't afford it. You can't afford not to have some of this technology in place. It is going to keep you on top of your business. It's going to be the difference in a penny business in survival and non-survival. It affects every area: marketing, operations, customer service. Every element of your business is affected by the application of technology. You cannot afford to stick your head in the sand on this.
No, I mean, it was amazing. I was amazed today. Adi Baton, her company today talked about that they have real time where you can use text technology and text the owner directly. So think about it. If you're an owner at a restaurant, let's face it, you can't be in a restaurant lunch and dinner 7 days a week. It's just too many hours. You have a family. You want to see your daughter, your sons play soccer game, baseball game. If you're at the soccer game, your son, you receive a text from an angry customer. You respond back, and it's not even to their satisfaction. How easy would it be to take your cell phone, call the restaurant, and says, hey, there's a customer in there. Here's their name. Take the phone. I want to talk to them in person. So you're not there, but you can still handle the situation. And what a wow factor if you're sitting in a restaurant and says, excuse me, and your waiter or your waitress come to your table and say, excuse me, the owner's on the phone, would like to talk to you about your experience currently. Wow, what a Yelp Urban Spoon. I mean, I'm sorry, but that would counter, that would go a long way to get rid of a lot of negative reviews that you potentially would have.
Absolutely, and I think that is an amazing application. That's an amazing way to look at dealing with a customer service problem. And even some of the basic things like being on a wait. We have a listing for sale in Florida right now. It's a fantastic listing. It's with the real estate, and I think you have a lot more details about it. But what strikes me about it is this listing has a dock, so you can actually drive your boat up. So imagine, forget the old school way of is my table ready and you've got the pager but you can't move beyond the door more than 10 feet. You just let people go out on the lake or out on the ocean, do what they're doing, text them 15 minutes before their table is ready, and they glide right up and say, okay, here I am, table for 8. And that full boatload of people offloads from their dock into the restaurant. And that restaurant's for sale with the real estate, right, Eric?
Yeah, and not only that, Robin, you can come by plane, hydroplane. Can you believe it or not? You can dock your plane, guys, so you can be in the air calling in on your radio and say, I'm coming in, I'm landing at the restaurant. So you can come by car, by boat, or by plane.
Okay, how much is a restaurant where you can come up by boat, by plane, or by car?
This is in Florida, guys, so it doesn't matter what time of the year, where you are, everybody wants to be in Florida. This listing, I just got a recent appraisal on this listing for $2.85 million. That's include the restaurant, the real estate, together, and there's also living quarters on the property. We have it for sale at $200,000 below appraisal at $2.65 million, and the restaurant right now currently makes over $400,000 a year to an owner-operator, Robin.
But wait, there's more. Because I think there's some owner financing available on
Yes, with 20 to 30% down, depending on your qualification. The owners will finance the rest of it. Can you believe this?
That's unbelievable. And I think about like some of the old school type restaurants that we have. We have a like a meet and three. You go in. It's that thing you do after church on Sunday here in the South. You just go and have a Sunday lunch, and we've got a meet and three restaurant like that that's on the market for about $200,000. It's earning over $100,000. But the great thing is, I would love to take a restaurant like that as a case study and layer in the technology and see what would change about that restaurant in terms of the sales, the profitability, and everything else. You know what, Eric? That is just about all the time that we have today. I cannot believe how fast the hour goes. You can always find information about these listings and more online at WeSellRestaurants.com. If you're in your car, take a minute, like us on Facebook. We're at Facebook.com/WeSellRestaurants. You can follow us on Twitter. We're Sell Restaurants, and we're on LinkedIn as well. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We're the Restaurant Brokers. Remember, We Sell Restaurants is your industry authority and source for information about the restaurant business.